We're here today with Marcio Fonseca, President and CEO of GR Silver Mining, a relatively new company that's developing one of the major projects in Mexico these days. And they're part of the boom and activity around the Mazatlan, Sinaloa area. So Marcio, well, it's nice to have you on board here today. Nice to see you.
Thanks for having me again with you, Douglas.
You're more than welcome. I think the last time we spoke was at the Discoveries Conference in April of last year.
That's right, in Mazatlan. Yeah.
Yes, in Mazatlan, and well, lots happened since then. So I see that I think your stock was running at about 20 cents a share back then, and now you're at 80 cents, and that's you've more than quadrupled. And I know that there's a lot of activity, a lot of things that you've been doing lately. Could you fill us in on that?
For sure. Since we met last time, we continue to acquire some key assets in the Rosario Mining District in Sinaloa. That's the area that we concentrate, and we continue to develop businesses to acquire advanced stage silver and gold assets. And last March, we complete the acquisition of the Plomosas historical mine. It used to be a mine by Grupo Mexico and then ended up being controlled by First Majestic. We bought 100%. And today the company GR Silver Mining control, I would say, the key assets in the Rosario Mining District, to the point that we have concessions also around Fresnillo Exploration Project and some concessions not far away from Vizsla, up north in the Concordia Mining District.
Yes, we've been seeing some spectacular results off of the Vizsla property and off of the Plomosas as well. I see you produced some excellent drill results last week.
What we are doing is why we became so interested in the Plomosas. First of all, it's very close to the San Marcial, 5 kilometers. San Marcial is where we have the 40 billion ounces of silver, potentially open pit. It's a 43-on-1 recent resource estimation. But Plomosas was drilled a lot by Grupo Mexico, and recently, 2016, 17, and 2018, by First Majestic. And interesting that when we did the due diligence, to realize that none of these companies ever released a single drill result.
Oh, really?
So then you have a lot of the core there. Yes, and the core is still there. So we went back, validate the holes. It's like almost like for a mining company, it was small at that time in March. It's almost like winning a lottery ticket. We got 100,000 meters of drilling. No?
Yeah, that's probably some of the cheapest drilling you've ever done.
Yeah. And we went back, validated, and we discovered that what was originally defined as a potential lead and zinc district, it's likely to become a district scale silver and gold with epithermal veins, because we are coming across very high grade veins closer together with the lead and zinc mineralization. And I was on site 10 days ago, spent 10 days after a break of 2.5, 3 months. I went on the ground and I saw the voids, the old workings of the Plomosas mine. And I was surprised about the dimensions, meaning that it's not narrow. Things can be 10, 20 meters thick. And that's really sizable ore body. It's still open along the strike. So now with 15 geologists on site, we are at full speed, plus 2 drill rigs, a third coming this week. So that's where we are.
Well, that's excellent news. It's really good to see these projects developing, and similar to Vizsla, it's not just a single project. It's actually a district scale property.
I think we're similar as a concept, and we are further south. We are in the Rosario Mining District. Vizsla is in the Concordia Mining District, right? And we are very excited because knowing that the Plomosas was a mine, have all the permits. So if the company define a resource, we can save a lot of time. As you know, in Mexico, there's a lot of bureaucracy, but we can save a lot of time. We can operate a mine there. The only thing that's not there is a crusher, a mill, and tanks. The power is there, the road, the foundations, the camp for 120 people. So all this is a major infrastructure investment that we don't need to make.
Right. Well, that's amazing. I know you have pending the acquisition of the Trinidad Mine as well.
Yes, that's true.
And how's that coming along? Is that still in the works? You're still looking at expanding in that direction?
What's happened is because most of the key executives that are involved in this company, including myself, have been working in Mexico for more than 15 years. And we collect a lot of data and knowledge. And we believe that the combination of Promos and San Marcial was very important. And the acquisition of the Trinidad concession, that's the one that we have doing the due diligence, and we have the exclusivity until December, would be important to consolidate further our ownership in the district. What we are doing, we have the geologists in the ground, sampling, looking at the targets, and then we are going to make a decision between now and December.
Okay. Well, stepping back a little bit, you were the VP of Corporate Development for Silvercrest back in 2015.
Oh.
And I know that you have played a major role in the acquisition of Silvercrest by First Majestic. So it just struck my attention that you're doing a deal now where you're acquiring a project from First Majestic this year. So I imagine
Time
that
changes and time flies.
time changes, yes. But I suppose that those types of relations formed over years of time have really been pretty important to the development of these types of projects.
Uh, that's true. Like, as you said, I was VP Corporate Development for Silvercrest Mines. How I end up taking that executive position and became a shareholder is because goes even further back, goes back to 2005 at the beginning of Silvercrest Mines. I was an investment banker and I was probably the first person in Vancouver as a provider of equity and debt to support Eric and the other founders to build the mine, Santa Helena Mine.
Yeah.
They were my first client when I came from New York to Vancouver. And naturally, I left. I was very excited. I left 10 years of career in the bank and became very involved with mandate to really organize the company for a potential transaction. And getting very close to First Majestic management and executives gave them some sort of really knowledge, and they understand the way I work with my team now, what we can do, what we did at San Marcial. And the way it happened, they invited us to buy the Plomosas. And a lot of investors said that probably there's nothing there, but I think is the opposite. They realize how much we've been very cost and time effective to do the exploration and increase resources, to the point that in the last bought deal, they invested $1 million to keep their position.
It's amazing how people generally discard old historic districts as being mined out. And now we go back and take a second look at these areas and make new discoveries. We're seeing new discoveries every week from right there in the Rosario District, up in the old district up there by Concordia, where Visla is at the Las Chispas mine from Silvercrest today. They're getting some spectacular results from those veins.
That's true, Loic. We have these historic mining districts. At that time, people were exploiting under different economic environment or labor environment. And today you have more technology, the commodity prices are at different level. So what wasn't really feasible to mine at that time now is, and knowledge about low sulfidation epithermal systems, veins, have increased a lot.
Yes,
so,
okay.
So that helps as well.
Yes, it's just amazing to see these things going back into production again.
Oh yeah, and I'm very excited. Like I've been noticing in our drill results and all the core that we've been reviewing a lot of different things. So just as a reference, when Grupo Mexico was mining in Plomosas in 2001, they were producing a lead and zinc concentrate, and they were getting paid only 50% of the silver. At that time, when they shut down the mine, the commodity price that they used to define what would be ore or waste was $290 per ounce of gold, $5 per ounce of silver, 50 cents per pound of lead and zinc. Today is a different environment. That's why we are walking to the tunnel. We are coming across veins that were never ever investigated.
Oh, that's excellent. I know that it's we're definitely in a different environment today with gold at over
Yeah,
$2,000 an ounce and silver's going towards $30 an ounce now.
yeah.
And we've got, I remember last year, financing wasn't as easy to come by as it is now.
That's a big change. Like in the last couple of months, our bought deal is an example. We were offered a bought deal 5 million Canadian dollars. At that time, the market cap of the company was close to 22 million.
Hmm,
Not many companies of this market cap would get a bought deal offered.
I see.
And very quick, the deal went from 5 to 6 to 7 to 8, and up on $9 million.
I saw those press releases and I was really happy to see that.
Yeah, me too. Good. Finally.
Yes, I know that last year you paid the drilling contractor with shares in the company. I hope that he's held on to them for a while.
Uh, he's for sure really happy. I can tell you. I know him. It was part of the relationship. We also financed a small drilling company in Sinaloa to become more stronger, to source and buy drill rigs in Canada at the beginning of the company. I believe, like, I've been working in Mexico for a long time, and it's very important to have this kind of really interactions with locals and the providers of services, because it's beneficial for the whole industry.
And so you're using a local contractor then and
Yeah,
based
yeah,
in Mazatlan?
yeah.
Okay, excellent. And so where do you see the future going here with this, with the Plamosa San Marcial project?
The business plan, the way we see this evolving is like we have a timeline that's 6 months, 9 months, 12, 15, and beyond 15, probably 24. The next 6 to 9 months is going to be a lot of drilling and expanding the resource with a potential target to get this close or above 100 million ounces of silver. Okay, all together, all the projects together. Then take advantage of the Plomosas being permitted and have the infrastructure to try to combine these two projects, Plomosas and San Marcial, to define a combined project that has much lower capital intensity, not much capital cost,
Okay.
and make use of the infrastructure to define a very attractive, low cost silver gold mining project. And then the time will tell if it's production or potential M&A opportunity.
Oh, that sounds good. So you'll continue with an underground mine at Plomosas and possibly a open pit mine at San Marcial.
That's right. It's a very attractive combination having two projects. One can be open pit to start with, and the other is already underground with the development already in place. We don't need to deploy capital to excavate the tunnels. We have more than 8 kilometers of tunnels there.
Oh, that's some significant workings.
Yeah.
Well, so how do you see the the current environment in Mexico with the, I guess if it, everything looks pretty positive as far as financing goes, the price of metals looks good, there's opportunities, but at the same time, we seem to be in an environment where um, the government isn't so pro-mining. So there's a little bit of questions and for a lot of investors and moving forward in Mexico. I was wondering what you think about that.
My professional view is that Mexico is and will be always a mining country.
Yes.
It's part of the history. We can have a president of one party or the other. They can change the agenda. Uh, I feel that there's a need for the companies to get more close with the authorities to find a common ground in a way that we can have more interactions and foster more social development and interaction to help communities in a way that's more visible. Many companies do a lot of things, but not necessarily becomes visible, right?
Yes.
And there's a difference between doing and becoming visible these days. But that's a very critical point. I hope Mexico doesn't really move in a direction to increase the taxation. That would be very negative for the mining industry. But considering, like I said, that Mexico is the largest silver producer in the world, it's hard to see that country not being related to mining.
Yes, I agree with you on that. And I see that the mining companies are taking a lot of steps to for to support the communities, to look for long-term benefits for the communities even after the mining operation may be long done.
Like we need to have a good balance to show to the government that we favor local employment, in-country employment, no, and training of local workforce, have a good combination between expats and Mexicans. That's always important, no? That helps. So people understand that we are not just going to the country to mine and shut down and depart the country. It's part of the living legacy and improve the conditions of living in the communities nearby the
Right.
project.
Okay, Marcio. Well, I appreciate your time today, and it's always a pleasure talking to you. And
Thank you again, Douglas. And anytime, let me know, and then we can be back here to provide more updates.
yeah, I hope we can meet again over at the upcoming Discoveries Conference that will be held in Guadalajara from November 11th through the 13th.
That's my plan.
Yes, we'll take a look at some of your new core coming off of the San Marcial Plomosas property.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, have a good day.